Hi, everyone. All right, as everybody is coming into class, and as we normally do, there is a discussion question for you to think about, for you to talk about with your classmates, talk about in the chat box if you'd like. Take a few minutes while everyone's coming in. We'll give everyone maybe 5 more minutes past the hour to actually come in case they're late, and then we will discuss the question. All right, we are ready to discuss why is intuition a flawed method for understanding behavior? Who would like to start? Great, I love your answer. Okay, who else would like to give their version of an answer for this question? Awesome, I think that brings up a great idea about intuition that leads into our next slide. Would one more person like to talk and then we'll move on? Great. I love the discussion we're having right now. You guys are bringing up awesome points. All right, let's move on to what is intuition. Does anybody have an idea of what they believe intuition is before we actually get into the definition? And no reading off the slide. I want your version, your thoughts on what intuition is. Great. Awesome. I love your answers. Okay. So the first method of knowing is intuition. Our intuition is our feeling, our gut feeling. It's something that's driven by our cognitive and motivational biases, according to Fisk and Taylor. It's something that we feel and we believe without necessarily having all of the facts and all the knowledge. It's just something we really just go with at times, right? And it can be very compelling, as it says here. Sometimes we just go with our gut, as the saying goes. Sometimes we're right, sometimes we're not. And what happens if we're not right? What if our intuition and our gut isn't right? What do you think can actually happen? Yes. Great answers. I love this. Great job, guys. So what can happen are some things like being misled. It can lead us to the wrong thing, the wrong idea. It can, if we're in law enforcement and we get a gut feeling, what if our gut is wrong then? That can have some very serious consequences for us. Can you come up with any other examples of when going by our intuition could be the absolute incorrect thing to do? Very good. Great job. I love these examples. Very good. Our intuition is not led by logic or facts. It's 100% feeling based. And how do we know if our intuition is actually correct if we don't have facts? There could be more than one explanation for our feeling or for what we're seeing in front of us that is leading to our feeling. And if we go with that gut feeling, that intuition, ignore the other possible explanations, it can lead to some very serious consequences, just like the examples that you guys came up with. And we may never find the actual cause. If we really decide to believe our intuition, we can also go into denial. Denial can lead to depression and can lead to many other things, fighting, negativity. Intuition can lead to some things that are not very good at all. Sometimes our intuition is good, sometimes it's not. Can our intuition be combined with facts and logic? What do you guys all think? All right, I like what I'm hearing. Very good. Okay, your turn. Great. I love how you guys are bouncing off each other. And I love these examples. You guys are really taking this serious. You're doing a great job. What do you think? Why can it be combined? You're saying it absolutely cannot be combined. Wow, I like this debate that's going on. All right. If we're not going to use our intuition, what else are we going to use? We're going to use empirical methods. This is what every professional in the field of psychology uses. So since we were just coming up with some reasons why we can combine our intuition with facts, this is the way that we get our facts, empirical methods. How many of you have heard of empirical methods or the scientific method? Oh, lots of hands. Very good. I like that. So what are empirical methods? As it's stated here, it's a common framework for collecting, analyzing, and interpreting data. And then this can be shared with other professionals. And then other professionals can disseminate or interpret the data as well. It's about collecting and organizing data. And then we analyze that data for conclusions. We take those facts and we analyze them and come up with our conclusions to understand a theory, a hypothesis, or something that an event that happens. You want to find out why, the function, the reasoning. So that's what a lot of those conclusions can be. Who can tell me what the scientific method is without looking at the slide? Very good. It's a specific way to conduct our research. And when it comes to psychology, there's something called antecedent behavior and consequence. It's one of the methods that we're going to learn about throughout this semester of collecting data. There's many different ones, and that's one of the ones that I personally use in my job working in applied behavior analysis. So you're going to hear a lot about that later on too. Has anybody ever heard of the ABC method? A few hands. Okay, great. We're going to get into that later on. Great job, guys. This leads into our next slide. So we've talked about our intuition and our empirical methods. So what else is there that we can use to actually come up with conclusions? Values. So intuition can lead to our values. It can work on our values and lead to our gut feelings. It can enhance our values. And then we have facts. Can we combine them? So what are values? Very good. Very good. Things that we appreciate. They cannot be proven by science, and they're not considered true or false. So because they're considered to be ambiguous like that, they cannot be proven. And because of that, people in psychology or our scientists don't really look into values very much. You'll hear a lot of people in psychology or that are scientists say, you know, if it doesn't have a fact, if there's no data, then it's not scientific. Sometimes that can be true, sometimes it can be false. So what do you think? Can research be combined with values? Very good. Yes, it can. And a good scientist always has their mind open. It can provide support to our values, the facts that we have. Like the example here. If someone says their favorite color is blue, that's their value. That's something they appreciate and they love. And there's a fact that can support it. 35% of college students have stated in a survey that was recent, their favorite color is blue. So what we want to do with our facts is enhance or support the value. And support, that word, you're going to hear a lot in this class in this semester, because everything we do in psychology, we have to support it. We have to provide the facts and the data that's been done and written and analyzed before to support what we are saying. So if you bring up a value, you're going to have to support it when you're writing something. For our next activity, let's state one value and one fact, but don't tell us which one's which. Let us guess. All right, who wants to start? Great job. Okay, so let's see. Great job, everybody. I really love these values and facts that you came up with. You did an amazing job today. Does anybody have any questions before we go? Great. All right. This PowerPoint is going to be up by tomorrow morning. It will be recorded. All of the slides will be there and you can access them. There's also a reference. You can find this article online. And if nobody else has any other questions, then thank you guys for a great class.